Big day for you. It's a big day for the university, and you couldn't have picked a bigger name. And I know a lot of people nationally will look at it and say, really? Guy hasn't coached in 3 decades. Why do you feel he'll be successful now?
Well, Ken, I mean, this is more than just about baseball. This is more than what happens between the lines. It's about these young men who have committed themselves to our program. It's about the future, the young men of the future, and about our alumni. It really is about where we are today, the foundation for our program, and how this program and our athletic department affects the profile of the university and what Dr. Foss is trying to do for our school. I mean, it's all part of the whole process. And Coach Maestri is by far and away the only man, I shouldn't say the only man, he's by far and away the man who can get this thing right from a grassroots perspective and build this thing to a point where we have a championship culture in place. And with a championship culture comes a lot of success. And that's what we're looking forward to.
You go through the process, you have really good applicants and people that were interested in the job, which tells you it's probably a pretty good job ultimately. And yet, at the end of the day, you look at this and you say, and you consult Mace about candidates and everything else, and you say, wait a minute. When did that happen? When did you figure out in your mind that all these recommendations, all this stuff about talking to him about possible candidates, it's really right here in front of me? When did you figure that out?
Well, within the first week, because I really stepped back and looked at it from a different side. I looked at the program and I said, hey, where do we start with? Are we starting fresh with a blank canvas? And what do we need to do? And when he and I first talked, and he said, hey, I'm getting all these calls from people. Of course, they're calling him, right? I'm getting all these calls, people that are interested. And I said, yeah, that's great. I said, let's sit down and talk about who's calling you. And meanwhile, in the back of my mind, I knew kind of where we wanted to go, where we thought we could go on this thing, I should say. I mean, but then once the candidates started coming in, it was like, wow, we've got some great people involved in this. We can't go wrong either way. But really, for what we need now, he's the right man. And we talked about it on the periphery in the beginning, certainly, and went down the process. And then at the end of the day, there was no question.
And the biggest thing with him is getting people back involved in this program from throughout the community that were involved previously. Today was a perfect example of that with the smorgasbord of people and the variety of people that were in this room.
Well, one of the things that I've noticed, I'll be honest with you, one of the things that surprised me the most, I knew I was coming here to work alongside some great people who wanted to rebuild this university and wanted to rebuild this program. One of the things, Kenny, that surprised me the most was the absence of fans, of alumni, of interested people in the community. Growing up here, I knew what used to be here, and it was amazing to me that it was hard to find. Looking at the room today, I always knew they were out there. We just found the right way to bring them back and get an interest going in the program again, and hopefully this puts us on the path to relevance again. I think it does.